Hello, everyone. Hope you can all hear me. My name is Micah Perry, and I'm a senior functional consultant with a consulting partner out of Pittsburgh called True Summit Solutions. But I work out of the Baltimore area. Um, but enough about that. I am going to show a solution that I've packaged up and thrown online for keeping product schedules in sync with the opportunity close date. Directly relates to this. Hello, everyone. Hope you can all hear me. This this idea here on the idea exchange for allowing product schedules to be tied to the opportunity close date. If you recognize my name from earlier in this idea, quite a few years ago, I made a sort of first draft of this solution that a few people used, but it turns out that the developer org that I had it installed in uh, got erased because I hadn't gone into it in a while. So a few people reached out to me saying they were trying to find it, but it wasn't showing up. So I'm really sorry about the delay. Just life has been kind of busy, but finally got back around to it to try to get a better version of it up and throw that up online. So I just want to walk through what it's doing and what we it's just an unmanaged package that's going to have 4 flows and 1 custom field, and you just need to be aware of what's there and maybe how you can roll it into your current flow solutions that you may already have, or if you've already been doing extensive work to the product schedule object, that this isn't doubling up your effort. So we're going to walk through that real quick to show you what this thing is doing. But in a nutshell, let's just do a quick demo. This is an opportunity here. I'm going to remove these products that I have on it. So we'll delete these two and start from scratch. So what this is in this org, I have product schedules enabled in the setup, and I've got a product setup that has, I believe, revenue schedule set up on it, but this could be quantity schedule as well. And it's just doing 12 installments monthly. So we'll go and we'll add that test schedule product. We'll add 2 of them. I'm just going to put one on here for 1200, and then we'll go add another one for 1400. And so this is revenue schedule. So if we go in and look at the schedules, you can see that they're set up sequentially like so. So right off the bat, Salesforce kind of knows what to do when it gets to, say, February, or days that don't have a 31st of the month, or even a 30th, or sometimes even a 28th if it's a leap year, or 29th, I'm sorry. But so that sets it up by default there. And all of this is the standard functionality so far. And what happens is, if in standard Salesforce, without any customization whatsoever, if I go to update this close date, as users tend to do, if the deal's not really going to end up closing on this date, they want to push it out further, the schedules won't update with them. They'll stay. And typically what has to happen is they need to end up deleting the products and re-adding them. And a lot of people just want their schedules to stay in sync with whatever this close date is. And so that's what we're doing here. It's active already in this org that I have. So if I go to these products here, you'll see mine staying in sync. It is pushed ahead 2 months. And if I go back, it will go back as well. The one problem that I'm having with it is calculating the exact day and figuring out how many months it's really changing, and then what day you're selecting as well. That's what's tough about this. So I haven't figured that out yet. But if I just do add months, and just like add 1 month, add 2 months to the date, it in reference to the close date, it works fine. But if you've got, say, quarterly schedules or biannually schedules, It doesn't work very well. It won't work for that scenario if it's not just the clean like every month. Um, and so what I'm doing is I'm ending up having to reset the day to the first of the month on my schedules. So if I select the 15th, these are still going to say the first. If I select the 30th, it was just the 30th because of when I set the closed or when I put the products on the opportunity. That was the standard functionality. But when my flow takes over, it says to set them to the first of the month. And that's because I can't, if I do the 30th, if I do say the 30th here, I'm sorry, let's do, what do I have on here now? The 15th. If I go back to say July 30th here and hit save, I don't know. There's no way that I haven't been able to figure it out to say when you get to the February to not make it the 30th, make it the 28th, make it the 29th, whatever the last day of February is. If you want to help in if you know how to do that, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know, and I can what you think would get that done, and I can get that put in. Anyway, let's go look under the hood of what's happening here. We can see I reset that back to July now, or June. So there has to be some setup that happens on the schedules. So first you have to have, if you type in product schedules in the setup tree, you can go to product schedule settings, and you've got to have product schedule settings enabled. I think either quantity or revenue, doesn't matter which, but you have to have them enabled. And then it helps to have a schedule product set up. You do that by going to products. And setting up a product. And then you'll need to go into the layout for products and add these fields. These quantity schedule fields. Just type in quantity and these fields will all show up. You can add them all to the layout, and then type in revenue and all these will show up and you can add them to the layout. Go look up a guide on how to set up product schedules would be the best. I'm not deviating from any of that here with what I've done. So if you just go look up a quick how-to from Salesforce on how to set up product schedules, and once you have that set up in a product with either revenue or quantity set up, then you're ready to go with this package. You're ready to just hit install on this. So we hit our first limitation with product schedules right off the bat. If we go to product schedules, you could type in product, no, you could type in schedule, and it's actually called line item schedule here. And so opportunity line item schedule. So if we click on that, and go into fields, it does have a lookup to opportunity product. And you may think, oh, that means I can very easily go create a formula field, or even in Flow, traverse through there to say grab the opportunity ID. Just go in here to text. But you could see that it doesn't actually give you that ID in here from the line item schedule. You don't get access to get into the products, the opportunity product that it's parented to then get into the opportunity. This opportunity here is a custom lookup that I had to create. So you can't traverse beyond the schedule to go to the op product or go up to the opportunity, which is really unfortunate. But I've spoken to a few other consultants or a few other people in the that have worked with schedules, and they express the same frustration when working with schedules. But the best way to kind of get around that is create and I've done this for other clients, is create a lookup for the opportunity. We even needed to create a lookup for the opportunity product so that we could traverse to the specific product and get fields that we needed. But for now, for this, what I've tried to do is I've tried to append this PSI, product schedule improvement, is what I was trying to make an acronym for. And so you know what my metadata is. There's one custom field here on line item schedule, and it's a lookup to the opportunity. And so if we go to flows, this is all set up with flows and no code. We could do op product on create and then update schedules with op ID. So this is a record trigger flow. this one, this op product on create, that does exactly that. It just looks for an op product when it's created with no entry criteria, and then it has a decision node here to say, does the op product have, these are standard fields, has quantity schedule, has revenue schedule, and I'm just saying either or is true. There is this has schedule as well, but I couldn't get it to work, this has schedule. It ends up being true after the record gets created, but I think it doesn't happen on create. But these do apparently. So I use this. So I just use this, and then otherwise it's no. And if it's yes, it kicks off a subflow, and that subflow is this one here, and all that's doing is saying go get all the schedules that are related to that opportunity line item that got created, that op product, and update the opportunity lookup that I created with the op products opportunity ID. So that in my test, when I go to my schedules, you can see, click on any of my schedules, and they've got the opportunity linked to it, and that would link us back. And the reason we do that is because what we really want is when the close date changes to keep the products in sync. And this is the improvement that I made on my first iteration, which was I didn't put the lookup on product schedules, and that meant I had to do a query inside a loop. I had to grab all the products, and then for each product, go get all the schedules. By having the op lookup on the product, the op schedules themselves, I can just say get all the schedules that relate to this opportunity, and that's what I'm doing now. So it should be much cleaner. It can handle opportunities with tons of products on it now, or should be able to. And now we can go look at the rest of this. These two, op on update, and then update product schedules to correspond with op close date. These two. So we can open up this one. So this is op on update. Again, same thing. Just an opportunity when the record's updated. No entry criteria. And then is the close date changed? Yes or no. That's all this is. And then kick off a subflow. I broke these out so that if you have an architecture in your org that is to have one record trigger flow per object, which can be done, and if that's what you've done, then this is set up to go ahead and just replicate this decision node in that flow, and then tie this subflow to it, and then just delete this flow altogether. That's the best way, really, I can think to do that. And then we'll open up this. And the same thing goes for the op product, where it's setting the opportunity ID. You could build that node into your op product flow and then delete that one altogether as well. Or you could just leave these. So this is what kicks off when the close date changes. We're getting the schedules. So we're passing in, when the close date changes, we're passing in the op record and the prior values, so we can get what the close date got updated to and what it was, to be able to calculate how many months it changed. If you were kicking it ahead 3 months, 4 months, 1 month, or moving it backward. And then over here we're saying just get all my schedules, all records, sorted by schedule date. Not sure if that really mattered at this point. Loop through the schedules. We are assigning the current schedule date of the current schedule record to a new value. We'll look at this formula in just a second. This was a date value where I was going to, for debugging, if you want to see what the values are, this is just putting those date values in there, so you can spit that out in an email if you wanted to, or tie into it whatever you want. Otherwise, I don't have it connected to anything right now. And then we add it to a collection, schedules to update, and then when we're done, we update the schedules. So this does have a CPU limit that could get tripped if you have an op. This won't work for you if you have opportunities with, say, 10 to 15, 20 products on it, and each product's got its own set of schedules, where it could be like a monthly schedule, so it's 10 times 12, that's 144 schedules. It could probably still churn through that just fine. It used to be a 2,000 element limit that they listed, that they lifted. That's not there anymore. But the 2,000 limit would get tripped on a flow like this after about 300, maybe a little less, because we're going through a record trigger flow first, and then going through here because it loops through. These are 3 elements here, and so 2,000 divided by 3 right there is 600. But then you've got these two, so it'll kick out after a few hundred. And you can get around that with platform events, and if a lot of people are having that problem and they reach out to me and they say we have hundreds and hundreds of schedules that we're trying to update on a single opportunity, just reach out to me. I can maybe help you figure that out. We can kick it out with a platform event and then kick off a new platform event to take over and with the remaining schedules. But there's ways to do that too. But if it can churn through all your schedules that you have, if you just have a few products and a few schedules on each product, this is going to do just fine. It'll set those new dates and then update them. So if we pull that open right here, new schedule, it's just doing an add month's date value, and then it's setting the year to be current, the current records schedule date year. The month is also the current month of the schedule date. And then we're setting the day to 1, no matter what it was. We're setting it to 1 to get around the February issue, and we don't know what days have a 30th and a 31st. So I'm not going to figure all that out and set all that up in here. And then we're adding it by this month difference formula. I just didn't take this comment out because this is just me doing a Google search, how to calculate the difference between 2 months, or calculate the difference number of months between 2 dates. There's tons of debate out there over the years of how to calculate this in a Salesforce formula without useful Excel formulas like date diff and so on. But this is what I ultimately used. Taking the month of the close date. Yeah, it's just doing a calculation here that I picked up. And again, if you can come up with any, if you want to analyze this and you're great with date formulas and you can come up with something better, feel free to tap into this and update it however you want. Reach out to me if you want me to update it. I'd love, if you've got something better, I'd love to take a look at it. Especially I'm having a problem with that, how to deal with date changes around the 29th, 30th, and 31st, and the 28th, and leap years and all that, and trying to figure out that. So this was the best thing I could do. All this is really doing is saying if it changes from the 30th of the month to the 1st of the next month, that's a month change, and it's going to kick all the dates forward 1 month. So just my recommendation is if you install this, just test it. Just test it and test all your different ways and make sure it works, all your different scenarios, and make sure it works for you. But that's in a nutshell. The package I've uploaded, and I tried to install it. Give me 1 second here. I wanted to show the error message that I hit when trying to install it. Anyway, I created a new dev org and hit this link to install that package in there. Immediately got an error message that it's missing the organization feature, product schedule. And the way to get around that, again, is just to make sure that you've turned on product schedules in the org. It's looking for these 2 checkboxes to get checked that when this page loads. There. The other thing I'm not sure of when it loads up is what your field access level is going to be. I just picked like for admins only, but I'm not sure what that will do with that opportunity lookup field. So what I would do is go into that line item schedule after you've installed it, go to this opportunity field, and go into the field's level security, and just make sure you have it turned on for the system administrator. Um, Really, I'd turn it on for everyone. And yeah, then just test it. I'll respond to. I found a few other threads here for people that are having a similar problem. This was way back in 2013, so I might still just throw a reply in here because the latest one was 2 years ago. Um, but it looks like there's the only thing is there is a yeah. Sorry, Gary, if I'm stepping on your toes. I read a little bit about this, but it looks like I'm only doing a small fraction of what this app does, which is keeping schedules, um, which is allowing schedules to move with the close date. And it does not even doing it perfectly, right? It's just doing it to the first of the month. But hopefully this helps. I'm gonna put a new link to everything in this idea here, and just watch and just tell people to watch this video to get familiar with what it is. If you're nervous about installing something random from the org, it's just a custom field in these 4 flows. It's completely unmanaged. You're welcome to install it into a dev org, analyze it, and then copy it and recreate it yourself. You're totally welcome to do that. But I hope this helps. Thanks, everyone. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn or uh, just anywhere you can find me if you have questions about this or need any help. But thanks.